Hey guys, Coach John here, and today I want to go over one primary thing to work on when you're first learning your jab. Keep in mind, the jab is used for many different things in a fight. A jab is not only offensive, it's defensive. We use it to measure, we use it to set up. When you are using your jab, the first thing that you should do when you're learning is make sure you stay very well centered, okay? And what I mean by that is when we're first learning to punch or hit, a lot of times the first thing that gets corrected for us is our leaning, all right? So if I'm throwing my jab and I'm trying to reach a target, I don't want my head to be moving forward into that punch, okay? So what I want you guys to focus on when you're throwing a jab is that head staying on our center line, okay? So if I find that I'm having to reach with my jab and that causes my head to come forward, I'm probably going to end up in a bad position to get countered. If I maintain this 50-50 position, it's going to improve my footwork as well as my punching. So I want to make sure I'm never getting my head off that center line when I'm throwing this jab. And if I need to reach with it, I'm stepping with my feet as I punch. I'm always stepping, keeping that head over my center line. Another common thing I see when we're throwing the jab is as a setup punch, okay? So we use the jab to set up lots of other punches. People tend to think they need to reach with their rear hand, and it's a common misconception. So if you're looking at my backside here, if I can hit the bag with my jab, oftentimes people think that because I'm throwing my cross next and it's behind me, that I need to come forward to land my cross. And so I see a lot of leaning with that. If I throw my jab and it can hit the bag or my opponent, all I have to do is turn and pivot my shoulders, my hip, and my foot, and that pivot, that turn, is going to give me the distance I need to hit the bag. Now, if you look, my head is over my center line still. I didn't have to reach. If we don't use good footwork when we're stepping into our punches and we end up reaching with that right hand, we still do the same thing we were doing earlier with that jab, which is reaching with our face. Opens me up to punches, and again, takes me off of a solid base, so I can't attack as easy, I can't defend as easy. All right, so one, if I am gonna jab and I do need to get in, I'm stepping to reach, not leaning to reach. And two, if my jab can hit, my cross can hit. Okay, keeping that well-centered headline, weight is evenly distributed, and I have power in all directions. I can push back from here, I can push forward from here, side to side, I can defend from here, and I can punch with power from here. That is our goal. So in conclusion, our goal is to stay very well centered. I want my head on my center line. I want even distribution of my weight on each foot. That allows me to push in all directions, step in all directions. It allows me to pivot and turn. It allows me to check kicks. It allows me to punch and rotate with power. All right, so as I'm working this jab on the bag, I want you to focus on my feet and my headline, okay? So if I'm back here, I can use the jab just to measure, just to keep them at bay. I'm never reaching for that punch. If I have to reach for that punch, that gets me off balance, brings my head forward into a position I don't want to be in. Instead, I'm going to use my footwork to step in and step out. My head does not have to punch for me. I do it with my body. Okay? Same thing with that right hand. When I'm throwing that straight cross, I step with the jab. If my jab can hit, my cross definitely will hit. I promise you that. I do not need to come forward with my head to land a backhand. Okay? Keep my head back. I use the rotation of my legs, my hips, and my shoulders to land these punches.